Hey everybody, and welcome to Zero to Freedom, a deep dive to and a journey to wellness and wholeness by any and all means available. So that's gathering many tools, tips, techniques, spiritual practice, and anything we can to just make ourselves well and whole in these times, for anything we've got. So I've got Nalinee here with me today of remembering love and light language. And I was really inspired by Nalinee because I came across her since I got ill and I had lots of problems with my health. I began waking up to many things about myself. And I began waking up to the realization that if I was going to heal myself, I needed to open up to many more things than just thinking of the physical. So that's how I started deep diving into my spiritual practice. And in recent times, I've really been drawn to the feminine energy that's rising on the planet. And that's why I really resonated with Nalinee's work, because she she takes you on journeys, and she takes you on really deep shamanic, like medicine woman journeys. I mean, she'll tell you more about it, but her work has helped me clear a lot of things in me. So I wanted to bring her on to talk about her special kind of magic, her special kind of knowledge. And she's so knowledgeable the way she talks. Honestly, she knows so many things, a really deep innate wisdom. You can just hear it in her. So she's a beautiful soul. She's helped me a lot with her videos. So I'm just going to bring her in now and just say, firstly, Nalinee, thank you so much for what you do and the love and the wisdom you're bringing to the world at the moment, because it's so needed and it's so important. It's helped me, and I'm sure lots of people. So would you like to just explain who you are, what you do, and what your channel's about?
Okay, so I'm Nalinee Diosara, and
Can you turn your volume
I
up slightly, darling? Is your volume
yeah.
loud enough?
Can you hear me better?
A little bit more?
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always introduce myself as a painter and simply a conduit of light language, and I do facilitate shamanic journey with drums and with cacao, and my channel is Remembering Love and Light Language. My website is soulconnectionsnalinee.com. And it's really about, I don't want to say that it's about me, but it's really a
Why
portal
not?
that,
It's
that
okay.
it's a portal that I share from the experience and the lesson that I am learning still. I'm a work in progress, and I just feel that it's always inspiring and heart opening to be able to channel the lesson that I'm obtaining, and the passion
Yeah.
on into many ways. And YouTube is just one of the channel that I channel that in form of sound and also visuals of my painting.
So
Yeah.
basically what you're saying is, as you're going, like you said, I'm a work in progress, aren't we all? We're never ending on the journey. It's just a constantly evolving journey. So what you're saying is, as you're going through your process, you just love to channel and share with the lessons you're learning at the
Yeah, because
moment.
I feel that there's always divine reason that we experiencing pain and a lower vibration. And for me, one way of transforming that also has to do with reprogramming, reminding ourselves that we are loved. But more than that, it's about channel the struggle within the lessons into something creative.
Yeah, turning the
And yeah.
sorry. I was just saying, turning
And
the lessons into the blessings. So even the
yeah.
difficult things, being able to learn to see the beauty in even the really uncomfortable things.
Yeah, that's a true wisdom there. And also I feel that even though at times we feel alone, there's must be a soul or another or other reflections out there that going through similar theme but in their own ways. And I feel that it's just a wonderful thing that we are able to create a channel and bring people who resonate, and just to let them know that we are not alone, I'm not alone, you're not alone, we're going through this in our own ways.
Yeah, and there is a lot that we're going through at the moment as a global collective, isn't there? And that's why I find, you know, your work and people out you, way showers, medicine women, whatever you want to call, whatever you want to say, awakened hearts. That's all I like to say, is awakened hearts, because there is, you know, there's universal truths and how things are, and people who are connected to that. There is no sort of separation of different boxes to be put in. It's just the one love, you know, it's just that the one connection, and how we see it or perceive it or bring it into our minds, it's just coming back to that one love. And that's why I think it's so important. That's why I really resonated with your work. But I just wanted to ask you, can you feel energetically the difference in the planet, on the planet at the moment? Do you feel that there's a lot of division, but there's a lot of connection? So it's in equal measure, because I feel myself being drawn to people being drawn to each other, you know? Do you find that?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that we're becoming more and more of a heart intelligence being, and moving away from the so long programming of valuing the head intelligence only.
Yeah, and that's so
And
important.
yeah, it's the process of alignment of head and heart, isn't it? And like you said, that the paradox just becoming clearer and clearer, how we are so different, but at the same time the heart kind of recognize one another.
Yeah.
And this is what I feel that we are heading towards, and some people already anchor that and embodying that, of that love without condition, of that acceptance that, yeah, this is just halls of mirrors that we are watching, and we are all facets of one another in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And within this realization, I feel that we can transcend so many things like prejudice, hatred, separation, projection, victimhood, etc., just by shifting into a more heart intelligence. And in this moment, I'm in the process of transcending guilt, and it's a very deep thing. And it's interestingly, it has to do with when there's guilt, when there's shame, when there's insecurity, we tend to seek love in a very distorted ways. Right. But the more we can remind ourselves that we are already loved, that we are just unique in our own, and there's no need to be apologetic, there's no need to seek for validation, the more empowered we are from within.
Do you find, you said you're transcending guilt at the moment, do you find yourself going back and having to forgive yourself for judgments that you've made of yourself? Because it's a really massive process, isn't it? We have to go in, the work that I've done is you have to go in and forgive other people, but you can't just forgive things, you have to see them and bring them up. If you don't forgive or move through the process in the right way, I find it's a false template. It's not worked. You're not getting that stuff out. So you can think you've done the work, but you haven't. And also judgments and about yourself too. And
sorry.
no, I was just going to say what you touched on before, like saying about all illnesses being of a low vibratory state. And that's what I've really stepped into since I started understanding about not just being a physical body and waking up to myself in lots of ways. My medicine and my healing has gone so far up because I'm understanding it from the whole picture, not just this is a pain, this is there, let me put lots of pills onto it. You know, since I stopped taking and numbing down the pills, our body brings things up for us to see. So it's attached to a memory or a thing that we had that's caused that crystallized stuck energy in there that we need to go back. And it's deep work. It's not a fast food cure, is it? And this is the problem, Nalinee, isn't it? Because we've come to a place in the world, and this is why we're returning to people like who are doing your sort of work, and we're craving this because we've become so detached and synthetic and so divorced from what we are that we are longing and craving, and we remember it in our hearts. I'm talking about myself. It's a longing to be back to that more natural state. So important right now. And what do you think about ascension, you know, we have people throwing the word ascension. How do you relate ascension? Because for me, ascension feels like a coming home. You know, we're changing our frequency, but we're coming back to our original frequency. That's what it feels like.
To me, it's a natural process. It's a process of evolution.
Yeah.
That's to me that's what it is. And it's not really about us doing our best to get away from this 3D realm.
Yeah, because then we're escaping, aren't we?
Yeah. That's really the false lenses that we define the word ascension to be. But it's about knowing that everyone is on this in their own ways.
Yeah.
Regardless of how we may perceive and judge it. But it's just a natural process of evolution. You know, we hit the rock bottom, and now after 2012, we just coming back up, and we have to climb.
Yeah. So do you feel like we're in the birthing process? Like we're in the birthing process of a new beginning, and it's messy.
Yeah,
birth is messy, isn't it? I mean, that's how it feels like to me, because we got, you know, I see people. I've never felt happier since last year. I had a feeling in my heart. I was walking around, I felt so good, and then the reality of people around me, like, they were just suffering so much, but I wasn't feeling that, you know, I wasn't feeling that. And then sometimes some people feel then guilty about that. But I think the important thing to remember is that when we cultivate that good feeling in ourselves, we're not being selfish. We're doing it. Once we clear that stuff in ourselves, we're shining out more. We're raising things for other people too. So it's not selfish.
No, to me, it's responsibility. And to me, it's the true alignment of the knowing that we are the creator. You know, it's not about saving others, but it's about, okay, what's distorted within us that we still project onto others.
But we do go into that, don't we, when we first start discovering our, you know, innate gifts and how we can heal ourselves. I know I certainly did. I went round and I wanted to heal. I want to heal you, you know, like, because I didn't want to look at my own stuff. So I wanted to go and do Reiki on everyone and heal everyone. And that was the whole process. I had to see that and go, actually, well, I'm not, you know, I need to look at me. I'm not really doing so well. Why do we do that as humans? Why do we kind of, I guess.
We've been, the thing is, within this 3D realm, the masculine principle has been wielded extremely. And the masculine principle has to do with externalization.
Yeah.
And when we feel this bust and explosion in our heart, it's quite automatically that we just want to externalize that.
Yeah.
And it's fine, it's nothing wrong. But when it gets to the degree that we actually walking away from taking responsibility of our inner wounds, then it can get imbalanced. That's all.
That's a really beautiful way to put it. So basically, we feel the expansion in our heart and we want to actualize it in the outside. We want to make it, I feel good, I want to share this. So we're not doing it consciously as I'm running away from myself, but essentially that's what we are doing. If we're doing that too much and we're not looking and working on ourselves, because it's uncomfortable working on yourself, because you really have to take responsibility for everything.
It's a humbling work, and it's a constant feeling of, okay, shedding another layers, and then go back again, shedding another layers, and
endless layers. They really are. I mean, and this is like, you know, from probably, you know, we haven't touched on this, but like all the trauma from your previous, you know, from your ancestors, all the things that are coming up now. Do you feel that everything's coming up from ancestral lines, all the trauma to be seen? Is that how you feel about it, or do you see it differently?
I feel it both sides. I feel that gifts and passion and curiosity towards shamanic culture, whether it be South America or Siberian, has to do with my ancestral lineage. But yes, there's also another side of distortion, such as old definition, for example, how we define self-worth, how we define achievement and success and abundance. This simultaneously transform with how we can also embrace what was long forgotten, what was long hidden. Such as the sacredness of ceremonies, the sacredness of connection with spirit, Pachamama and nature, etc. So it's both sides of the coins.
How do we move, Nalinee? I'm just curious. You know, we live in this modern world with all this technology, with all this amazing tech kind of well, whether you think it's amazing or not is another thing. How do we, this is what I've been thinking about lately, the organic and the synthetic. How do we have the technology we've got without allowing, but we need to connect back to what we were? Because I love being in the trees lately. Like I live around some nature, not the beautiful place where you live, but I can go to the sea and I can go to the trees, and there's some ancient yew trees just not very far away. And I feel called to just go and every day to be in nature. I must do it. It's medicine. It's medicine to be there.
Yeah.
But how do you think people, what are important sacred tools for this time? If people are just waking up and they've never been in the spiritual practice before, what would you say to them? How can they start connecting at this time?
Well, first, I'm in Bangkok, so I'm surrounded by concrete jungle.
Oh, are you? I thought you were in the jungle. Sorry. I thought you were actually in the jungle. I thought you were in like I must have been looking at pictures when you were on holiday or something.
Possibly, yeah, no, but I appreciate. I'll take that.
Yes, it's my jungle. It's fine.
It's my jungle. The thing is, I just wanted to put it out there that everything is neutral fundamentally, whether it's 5G, whether it's social media. But yes, there's negative manipulation and intention put in the foundation of building up social media, and we all know that. And I respect people who choose not to partake in social media, not to participate in anything that is too synthetic and is harmful to organic cells. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I was born in Bangkok, and I always been raised in a different kind of capital cities.
And so you had a lot of technology around you. You would have
definitely. My next door is Mac computer store.
Oh wow!
Right next door. I got organized, so that's helping me. I got organized. I got lots of organized around. And compassion.
Yeah, of course. You got to have both. That's the thing though. Like we're talking because we live in the world. There's no point, when people spend a lot of time so spiritually, they spend all their time up in the higher realms. But we came here to be here, and we came here to bring that through and bring it here, didn't we? So, you're talking about having a computer store, and it's like, you're bringing all this beautiful spiritual, sacred stuff. But we live in this world, so we need to use the tools of this world and bring that into the sacred and use them. Exactly. Like you said, social media, yes, obviously it's been corrupted and everything pretty much on this earth has been corrupted, but we can take it back and we can create new infrastructures which are created from that place of connection. Because, the internet's great, isn't it? Think about this lockdown. We've all been stuck in our houses. I was a bit down on the internet before, but if we hadn't have had this, we've been able to connect. I've connected with people that I wouldn't have connected with, and I'm sure you've been doing much more work with people all around the world, spreading your medicine. Have you noticed, let me just ask, have you noticed more people coming to you in this last year?
Not in kind of quantity, but I would say the quality of the people that I get to connect has been a lot more in resonance than when I first started. But that is also the reflection of the self-work that I've been doing also.
So you're attracting the people because you've done the work.
Yeah. The energy shift as the more you come to self-respect, the more you mindful with the inner wounds and not inject that energy into your service. The crowd, the audience changes, and that's again, mirror attracts mirror.
I love that, what you just said, the crowd, the audience changes. And that's so perfect because we are all here playing a role. So, and if we cultivate our vibration, if we cultivate that love, then we are going to see different audiences and different players in our lives because we're working on that level, and that's why I love you said that. It changed the audience, different people come. That's so true. I've had a total change of audience, and I don't mean people watching. I just, so many different people coming into my life. So it's been amazing. So Nalinee, have you got anything coming up lately? Any events or cacao ceremonies or anything like that?
Yes, I'm organizing my equinox on the 21st. Yeah, London would be 10 a.m.
So that's on the 21st, yeah?
Yes, on Sunday. And I got a special guest, a dear sister who's absolutely wonderful, and she will be too, jamming and offering her sacred sound healing with us. And
Beautiful.
it's after the journey, we then share our experience and kind of create this support circle in that space for one another.
Oh, lovely. Is that the sharing circle that you did before?
The sharing
similar?
circle that the sharing circle that I did before was something very different. It's something that I found quite the last minute. It was a community that wanting to break away the stigma towards plant medicine or plant teacher or psychedelics. And they kind of invite people, if you feel called to host a circle, come together, share your song, share your gratitude to plant teachers, do it. And that's what I did. So it was just basically kind of like talking and sharing circle.
Well, to people who work with plant medicine, yeah? Is that what it's
whether it be herbs, whether it be something more potent like ayahuasca, San Pedro, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Have you done ayahuasca? I've had so many people talking about it. Yeah, but do you know what? Some people said they did a... Oh, wow. What is that?
That's ayahuasca.
Oh,
that's
is
ayahuasca.
It? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still can feel her. Me and my partner, we volunteer in Amazon in 2017. And that whole experience grounded me and really reprogrammed many things within me. And that's the Mother Vine.
Wow. That's incredible. So is the journey, what does the journey do for you? Because I heard someone say lately that they'd scanned the frequency or something, and how ayahuasca used to be, it's been quite corrupted. That's what I heard. It's been, the frequency of ayahuasca, when people get involved and kind of corrupt the compounds and kind of thing. So that's obviously naturally it's still great, but the people that are selling it is kind of, being brought down in vibration through that, which is a shame, really.
I'm just going to come back that everything is a neutral tool, double-edged sword. Plant is a neutral tool. It's just how it's offered, the intention behind the person who brewed, the intention behind how it was harvested. We went into a space where they really respect the medicine, and we got throughout the volunteer, before we became guests and embarked upon ayahuasca, we got to see the whole angles. The angles of the shamans, angles of the management, the angles of the local workers, the angle of the guests, and we really appreciate that experience. However, ayahuasca brews vary from tribe to tribe. In Peru, the common brew is chacruna and ayahuasca. I mean, if you only take ayahuasca, it's just going to be laxative. You just cleanse your stomach.
Oh, because you have to mix it, don't you? You have to mix it with the other enzymes.
Yeah.
It's incredible how they even know this. This is why, when people talk about people like not understanding, and we understand because of all our modern science, but to know about the enzymes in plants and how to put this is just innate knowledge that the people that living in the Amazon or living wherever have. So, and they just know that, and they know it innately. So it's pretty impressive, really.
It is. If you imagine like millions and millions of plants in the jungle, and they manage to know which to go with which, and that represents a deep intuitive and instinctive connection that we have with plants and also animals. And I just wanted to share that if anyone interested to get to know ayahuasca, Google ayahuasca manifesto PDF. And it's free to read. It's a very short read. And it kind of gives a clear understanding of the current role of the medicine. And also traditionally, ayahuasca manifesto. And traditionally, the shaman only drinks, all the curanderos only drink the ayahuasca. They then channel the information of healing for their tribes, for their community, for the people who come and seek.
That's what they're doing. Answer. They open themselves up. Okay.
That's and then they channel the voice of the mother. The mother then tell them, okay, you go to this, gather this plant, gather this herbs, gather these animals, and this is how you heal your people. So that's the role of the shaman. But in this modern day, since the Western world, the rest of the world really found this medicine and starting to drink, and that's how it's supposed to be. Even the Mayan elders in Guatemala received the message from the fire in 2012 that it was their time to spread their knowledge out to the world.
Really? That's so interesting. I saw someone else say that. I think it was I'm I can't remember, I can't remember who it was now. It was a documentary, and they went round to lots of Indigenous people, and they said exactly what you just said, that this is their time now, because we've always gone thinking that the West is just so advanced, so that, look, we're so sick, we're ill, we're so depressed because we are divorced from our connection. So now is the time that the Indigenous people are stepping out to teach us, because they have all the knowledge, they have all the connection, they have, all this beautiful plant knowledge, energy knowledge, everything.
And that speaks of generosity, isn't it? It's like, this is what I know, this is sacred to our people, and here, this is what I'm sharing with you. That's something that is missing in society. In modern society would be like, no, I'm hoarding this because this is dear to me. So it's that something already exists on earth. We don't really need to look outside of us. Something so profound, medicine and keys that we can really welcome this process of ascension already exist.
Yeah, it's already here. We just have to tune into it. It will always was, and that's really the key, isn't it? Everything that we need is inside us and here, and like we just have to literally tune ourselves back into that. And that's what I've really found. Like, the further we get away with thinking we're separate, the iller and the more chronic illness we see, the more depression we see. So you bringing your medicine to the world, and really people really waking up, because people move in circles. People who access Indigenous stuff, or people maybe have a bit more money and they can look into more things. But I don't have much money. I realized I needed to heal myself when I dropped through the cracks. And I think lots of people who are just, I don't like to say the word normal, but people that don't really look outside the box are really, really wanting to find this and access this knowledge, because it's a deep pulling, like, of wanting to know. And also you said something really beautiful, like them sharing their medicine with us after, I'm not being funny, but we've, the West came in and did some pretty horrific things to Indigenous people. So just having that generosity of heart still to want to share, that's teaching us a lot too, isn't it? The fact that they're generous enough to even do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Also, I'm just going to invite you, while we're here, I'm actually putting together a consciousness evolution summit, and I'm bringing people together to talk about, natural health, spiritual health, the importance of the water we drink. So I'd like to invite you. You don't have to feel like you have to say yes or no here, but I want someone coming from the shamanic side and bringing all the plant medicine, bringing to talk to about all that, all this sacred, beautiful things. So if you're interested, I would love to have you on.
Oh, I would love to. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in plant medicine, honestly.
No, just bringing what you are an expert in. Bringing your gifts.
At the moment, drums also, and I guess I can just bring me.
Bring you, that's it. And that's what I wanted you for, to bring your medicine, to bring your particular type of medicine. It's going to be on the 22nd of April. And it's just going to be, everyone gets, but we'll talk about that anyway. So just for now, is there anything, last things you want to encourage people in, or just speak to, like, just encourage people?
Well, the recent lesson that come to me is that how we are embodied through unconditional love. And the month of April, that many people define as month of love, really put many of us into that question again of what is love. And when we ask that, it puts us in a state of another deeper question of how we define love. Whether it would be soulmate, soul love, twin flame, whatsoever, beyond those titles. Can we then learn to love one another as what is? And that too, take the work of loving ourselves as we are. And like I've said, to me, it's a path of transcending guilt and insecurity. So that's something that I would like to leave you to contemplate upon, to those who resonate with this, of just have a self-honest assessment. That is responsibility of the distortion that long we have defined love, long we have put our sense of self-worth and values upon external mirrors.
Yeah.
That we are already love, and perhaps there wouldn't be any need for plant medicine. Perhaps there wouldn't be any need for any external medicine if we get up to that point that we are it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You
So
know what? I just, that what you just said is so beautiful. And yeah, if we actually did realize we were loved, we wouldn't need the healing in the first place.
but it's all that journey that we agree to come here
Yeah,
as,
that's what it is, isn't it? That's what like
yeah, as
part of.
planter of seeds, as that seeds of consciousness, and weaving into Gaia and align with her crystalline consciousness, that what we long forgotten, like you said many times, the word divorced,
Yeah,
what we long divorced from. And now union, and it's not outside, but it's here, inside. And that's the hard work, but is the true fast track
yeah.
of
And that
meeting
is
our
the truth.
pain.
Go
Yeah.
quiet, go within. And also
Yeah.
don't be hard on yourself for whatever you're feeling. Whatever you need to feel, it's okay to feel, you know, because I've been doing that lately. And you know, just allowing what emotions need to come out, because it's all perfect. And you're perfect. So thank you so much,
Thank
Nalinee.
you.
Yeah, I'm going to put everything in the show notes, all Nalinee's, you know, ceremonies, her links and everything. So I hope you found this valuable, because I've really enjoyed, thank you, I've really enjoyed speaking to Nalinee. So contact her, she's amazing. And thank you so much for watching, and listen to my podcast too. Like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.